Hi, my name is Fabiana, and in today's tutorial I'm gonna be showing you how to make this gorgeous elf hat for Christmas. For this project I calculated sizes all the way from babies to adult woman. You can see down in the description below I left the link for the blog article about this, so you can see other sizes there. Okay, I'm gonna be making the size for me, so adult woman. So I'm going to be using only 50 grams of each one of these colors. This yarn is worsted. I highly recommend worsted. Just choose the yarn you prefer. I'm gonna leave down the description below a link for a few of the yarns that I like to use, and a little bit of this yarn here that I'm going to use for the ribbing and the pom-pom as well. The pom-pom, to make the pom-pom, I use this tool here. This tool is great and it's linked down the description below on my Amazon front store. If you want to check all the products that I like, they're all there in this Amazon link. And this tool can make tassels or pom-poms. The instructions are really straightforward, and I think this is the fastest machine to make pom-poms, so I highly recommend that. Even though it makes only one pom-pom size, which is a medium size pom-pom that you're gonna see at the end of this tutorial. So if you wanna purchase this, the tool that I'm using. And I'm using my Sentro 48 for today because I'm making the size for me. But if you are making like kids, teens, and babies, you can use the Sentro Addi 46 as well, or the Sentro 40 for babies. Okay, so let's get started, guys. This is a fast making project. We are going to take around 1.5 hours to make this project. So to start making this elf hat, I'm going to work on the tube mold of my Sentro Knitting Machine the whole way. So you don't need to change to panel or anything like that. And I'm going to cast on, leave a long tail here so you can seam the elf hat later. And then cast on 13 stitches only. So from needle 1 to needle number 13, 9, 11, 13. Okay, place your yarn inside the yarn guide, and we are going to control the tension with your fingers like I'm doing here. Don't apply any pressure, just let the yarn slide through your hands. And then make your way back. The position of the yarns should be just like that, in order for you not to lose this first stitch here. And then make your way back to complete the first row. Pull the yarn a little here. Make sure the working yarns underneath this piece here before you start making your way back to the other side. Pull the yarn a bit on this first stitch and then make the row. I'm going to be making stripes of 6 rows, okay? So every 6 rows I'm going to be changing the yarn color. I have 4 now. I'm going to make 2 extra rows and then change to the red color. If the loop's not on the bottom of the needle, just make sure it is, okay? Put it on the bottom before you finish this edge part here. Otherwise you're gonna drop a stitch. Okay, so now put the yarn inside here. We are going to change the color and place the red yarn in just before, exactly in this position that I'm doing here. Leave a little tail, doesn't need to be very long. And then let's make the first row with the red. And now to start making the pointy part of this elf hat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go one extra needle at the end here. So one extra needle after the last one that had the stitch. Start making your way back, and that way we're going to increase one stitch on this side here. Pull a bit so the edges look clean and nice at the end. And then make the row all the way to this side here. Pull these tails. And then make one extra stitch on this side as well. Just like this. Make sure it goes inside that first needle. Sometimes it doesn't grab the yarn, so you have to pay attention on that. And then make the row. Now I'm on my third row. I'm going to make 3 more rows now. So in each color change, I'm going to increase 2 stitches. Position your machine just like this and grab the white to start working with the white now. What we're gonna do is we're going to change the colors without making knots, so just make sure you leave a little bit here, something like this, 1-2 fingers, just the same length that the rows have here, so it's not tied when you finish to seam the beanie later, okay? And now make the first row with the white. And again, we are going to increase on this side first, this way. And then increase on the other side as well. Okay, change to the red color. Going to change this one more time, and then just so you guys see it, put the yarn inside the yarn guide and make sure that don't pull too much, because you need this to be exactly this size, so it's not tied at the end when you seam on top of it with the mattress stitch. So just like this is the position it has to have, it has to be. And make the row, increasing one at the end. And then make extra 3 rows. So I'm going to repeat this process until I have only 3 needles open here without stitches, and then I'll come back with you to explain how to make the rest of the beanie, the body part of this beanie, to finish it off. So I got to the point here where I have only 4 stitches left. I'm going to increase this one, this last one here. And then this last one here. Just be careful, because when you make this last one here, when you increase this last one here, this one's gonna come up, okay? So put it down this way, increase this last one, make sure that one stays inside the needle. Okay, here I'm gonna be making this last stitch. Again, just be careful so that one doesn't come out. Put it underneath the lip so you can make your way back, and then make 6 rows with this white. I'm going to make 2 more rows with this. I'm gonna have 4. Make this last stitch here. So now I'm at the end of row number 5, and what I'm going to do is, after this last stitch here, I'm going to just cast on. You should have three needles here, okay? I did increase somewhere along the line one extra that I shouldn't, and so go behind, like if you're casting on, behind the first needle and in the front of the next one, and then just place the yarn inside to make this last row in the white. And then these 2 stitches are gonna be made, and we are going to start working on the tube mold, okay? So you're gonna make it tubular from now on to just finish this beanie. I think I now have 6 with the white. I'm just gonna make an extra one just to finish it off, just to make these 2 stitches properly. It's gonna be 7. And then here, if you wanna place a marker as well, so you know where you are starting the row, to just, when you start binding off the stitches, you know where you're gonna have to bind off, okay? Or you can just see the needle where you are. I am on needle 32. Okay, so I made this last row with the white, and then I'm going to put the, right in front of that first needle, I'm going to put the red. And then I'm gonna work with the red on the tube mold for 6 rows. I made my 6 rows in the red, put the red in, bring the white out to change the color. Make sure this is not too tight. Here, just pull it a bit for this to, just to pull this yarn a little more. And then now I'm going to make 6 rows with the white. So I'm going to swap colors 4 times once I have the tube from the marker up. I'm going to change the color 4 times, and then I'm going to add the green and make 6 to 8 rows with the green just for the ribbing, okay? So you can go ahead and do that too, same thing. So now this part changes for other sizes if you're making for kids and babies. So just go to the link down in the description below. In the article, there's a table with all the number of rows that you need to make, okay? Now cut both yarn colors and then place the green just in front of that first needle, that needle that you marked, place the marker before, and then make 6 to 8 rows with this. This is gonna be our ribbing, okay? So as long as you want the ribbing for, if you want the ribbing a little longer, you can make it a little longer as well. Now leave the yarn tail attached. After this last stitch, place the yarn inside, and now let's make a full row without the yarn. Stop right before you get to the last stitch that has the tail right here, otherwise this one will drop. And then grab a tapestry needle with a contrasting color yarn so it's easier to see the stitches later, and just start binding off that stitches. Here, so you guys see, I made a little knot just to join the two yarn tails of the other colors. And so start removing the stitches just like this. Place your finger on the next one if you don't want to drop, if you're scared to drop it. Okay, let's see how this beanie looks like, guys. There you go. Oh my god. Okay, guys, so I'm going to get rid of this machine to show you guys how to finish it off. So this is what we have at the moment. As you can see, it's already taking a little bit of shape. So I'm gonna show you quickly the size here. So this is how long it is. 63 centimeters, or around 24.5 inches. If you want this hat a little shorter, you can make 4 rows to each color, and that way you're gonna have a beanie that's a little shorter for a kid or a baby, okay? I forgot to mention, you're gonna need a hook. I'm using a 4.5 millimeters hook. And then here to make the ribbing, I made a few tutorials already with this ribbing, but I'm gonna show you quickly. I'm going to make the ribbing at the same time bind off the stitches here on this side. So remove the yarn tail from this first loop here, and then just open the whole way until you reach the white color here. So it's gonna be one loop left, and then turn this inside out, grab that loop and work this way. You're gonna be making knitted stitches where you have purl stitches. These are the purl stitches, and the knitted stitch is this little V that's gonna form here. So this way, just remake the stitches. Make sure you grab in order this yarn here. Okay, once you completed all the loops, we are going to bind off this first stitch. So put the hook through 2 of these loops this way. and then make a slip stitch like this. And then make another slip stitch, and for this loop here, just make sure this second loop, it's gonna be really loose like this, otherwise this beanie won't fit at the end. And then pull through. Now just open a little more, remove the yarn from here, open all the way again, and we're going to be making our second loop, our second ribbing. It's gonna look like this. Turn it inside out, grab that loop and remake it. This way. Turn it inside out. So I made two. I'm going to make a 2x1 ribbing. So one is purl, two are knitted. So you know. Pull all the way until this loop is just this big. Put through the second loop we just made. And then yarn over, pull through. This ribbing has to be really, really wide, otherwise you won't fit your head, and that's why I make these loops so wide. Now I'm gonna bind off 2 stitches, because it's a 2x1 ribbing. Again, this loop very wide, pull through. And now open this third stitch. So I'm going to repeat this the whole way to form the ribbing, and then I'll come back with you just to show you how to seam this part of the elf hat. So when you get to that very last loop there, you can cut the yarn. And then put the hook through that first 2 loops. Pull the yarn like this. And then bring the yarn in like this. And then make a knot on the back. I always like to make an extra knot on the back. And then just hide the yarn. This way. Hide the yarn this way to all the tails you have. Make sure this fits your head before you start making all the rest. Okay, now this part here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cinch this. This is where we are going to add our pom-pom later. And then now I'm going to grab my needle and I'm going to matrix stitch all the way to the bottom here. Okay, so now after I cinched this, you can either make a knot here if you want. I don't think it's necessary. I'm going to do anyway, just to make sure. Just make a knot this way. So just to secure that stitches here on this side. And now we're going to start matrix stitch the beanie. And this is our last step. So we are going to have to make sure we are matching the colors. So it's not gonna be a perfect one because we have the increases, but try to put in these 2 loops in the middle here, like I did. I'm gonna show you in the next one. And then in these 2 loops here. And then here, starting on the red one. And then in the very next 2 on the other side as well. And as you seam it with the mattress stitch, just make sure the stitches are gonna be kind of curled in. So just make sure you grab always the last stitch before the edge. Because remember, we increased before, so we have to just always grab the last stitch. So after you seamed, that's how it's gonna look like. It's pretty good to me. I'm going to just quickly show you how to finish this off here, so I'll come back with you for that part. Here, just before I reach this part here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this inside out. And I have this little tail here just because where we cast on the stitches before, that's what that were the 3 stitches we had at the end. I'm just gonna cut it, make a knot. It's gonna be little, but that's how it is. Okay, and then hide these tails after. And then here I'm just gonna finish with my mattress stitch the best way that I can for this situation here, so it doesn't show that finishing. Just to hide it a bit. The best way I can, I mean. You can get to perfection once you made a few more times, I reckon. Let's see here, this is no good. Let's put this yarn close by. Just here, just hide this. Okay. I mean, it's gonna be here, but it's gonna hide as well this way. Okay, and now let's make our, this is the front of it. As you can see, the front's pretty good. And now let's make our pom-pom. Grab the tool, put the yarn through the little hole inside the yarn gap here, so it's tied. And then start making the loops. You're supposed to move the yarn, but I don't like for pom-poms, I don't like to move the yarn all the way here. Just keep the yarn in the middle, so your pom-pom's gonna be more round at the end. I like to make it all the way until it reaches the little thing here, and then just cut the yarn. And then just put the scissor through the hole and cut the yarn. Now that our pom-pom is ready, if you want to make it more round, you can steam it, so you get rid of all this yarn, and you make it more round as well. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with this hook here, first do this. And with the hook, I'm just gonna place the hook right there on the top and just pull one side, one tail only, and then put it through. Or you can use the tapestry needle for that too, if you think the hook's too hard. And just put the hook through another place. Pull the other yarn tail. Let me see if it's right on the top, this. And then just pull both, make sure that make one knot here. Make sure it's attached properly, the pom-pom is attached properly, and then make 2 extra knots. 1, 2. Cut this like this, because it's not gonna show anyway. Now let's see, guys. I'm excited about this. I'm gonna try it on to show you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It's a really, really cute beanie for Christmas. And if you like my tutorials, I have another tutorial where I made a snowman on a Sentro 48. I'm gonna show you now. So this is the little snowman. It matches with the Christmas elf hat. And I'm gonna leave the next link for the next tutorial. It's gonna be to make this beautiful snowman with the hat on a Sentro 48 I made, okay? So it's a small snowman made on a big circular knitting machine, if you're curious to see that. And thank you for watching, guys. I wish you all Merry Christmas and awesome New Year for everyone. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I see you on the next one. Thank you for watching, guys.